Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to show you how to play Viva la Vida by Coldplay on piano. Just the main chords you need to know and the little fills that come in throughout the song. There's a bunch of different sounds in this song, a bunch of experimental instrumentation, and there's just lots of different kind of sounds that go on, which really is a great combination. That's why it sounds so great. So without too much rambling, I'm just going to point out real quick, up until now with my videos, you may have noticed that a lot of them were requested videos. Not all of them, but the majority of my piano tutorials that I've done until now were, in fact, requested videos. Not ones that I would have just gone out on a limb and done myself personally, just ones that, you know, most people requested. So now I'll be doing more of my personal favorites that I've been playing on piano for a long time, so you can expect to see some of that now, some of my favorites. I will still take requests, of course, don't get me wrong, but I'll be doing more so of my personal favorites that, you know, I've known for a while, starting with this one, as it seems to have grown on me even more lately, so that's why I just want to show this now. And I may have actually, you know, showed this before in other videos, but they may have got removed, I don't know. But either way, let's jump straight to it. This is Viva la Vida by Coldplay. This is my personal way of playing it, and it's pretty accurate to you know, the song and how Chris would play it on piano from what I've seen. But basically it's in the key of F minor, so for those of you that are familiar with the chords and the notes in that key, then you should be able to figure out the chords pretty easily. But for those who don't, well, here it is. So it starts out like this on this C sharp, G sharp, C sharp. I mean, it's not actually a you know, C sharp major chord. It's more like just a C sharp. It's more like you're playing a power chord of that chord, you know. It's a really clever actually, but it's C sharp, G sharp, C sharp. That's the first one. So you got, then all you do then is just you keep your whatever fingers on G sharp, whatever fingers on C sharp, you just move your finger to D sharp. So you're playing D sharp, G sharp, C sharp. So D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, that's the only change there. So you got so again you got, then after that, then you just basically move whatever fingers on this C sharp here to this C, and then you get a this chord, so D sharp, G sharp, C, and then you go, and then the last chord is the most familiar and obvious one, which is in fact a root F minor chord, but that's just F, G sharp, and C anyway. So you got, from the beginning now, you got so yeah, that's pretty much the left hand riff, which actually in this song, the left hand is the hand that actually plays the you know, main riff of the song. It actually plays like the whole riff throughout the whole song whenever it comes in, and the right hand is what plays like the other fills and bits of sound, you know, the strings or the orchestral sounds, whatever those sounds are, they come in with the right hand. That's how you'll play them with your right hand, basically. So what I want to point out real quick is the bell you hear in the song. I've always loved that bell. I think it makes up the song. I think it's the essential ingredient for the song. Without that bell, the song wouldn't be the song it is. It wouldn't have the same kind of resonation as it does on me. It wouldn't resonate the same, to me at least, because that bell is really what complements the song and really fits all the other sounds in the song. So I like to play that bell part on piano. Even though it's a bell, it does play in the I think it plays in the note of G sharp. So I'll give you an example now. So kind of like this. So you got, so yeah, kind of like that. You can play the D sharp and G sharp if you want, but that's how I personally play it. But just one quick summarize real quick. The riffs are, again, the main riff is C sharp, G sharp, C. First one. The second one is D sharp, G sharp, C sharp. So first one again, C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C, and then F, G sharp, C. So that's, you can put that together now. That's all the notes for the makeup, the main riff basically. That's pretty much the whole main riff. There's just one change in the chorus which we'll get to subsequently, but for now, when it comes into the verse, it stays the same, but if you want the bell part, you can just play, so you would play this G sharp as soon as you start playing the, you know, as soon as you start playing this chord, D sharp, G sharp, C, as soon as you start playing that chord, that's when you'll play this G sharp at the same pattern and pace as the left hand riff is playing, so kind of like this. And I just showed you. So yeah, basically that's how you do that. If you want to add in the D sharp and go, you can do that if you want, but it's honestly entirely up to you. There's no hard and fast rule in this. Anyway, moving on though. After that, you've got the riff down now, which the main riff of the song is actually repeated in the verses too. You play the same thing. So it basically repeats after that, but then after basically verse 1, after you know, the end of verse 1, after sweep the streets I used to then you go. So basically, yeah, that is actually what you can play, because in the song you do hear the strings. They don't do that exactly, but I think on piano it sounds best when you play it like that, and I believe that is what Chris Martin has playing the song on piano before. So again, all that is the same note as the bell note, which I said is, you know, probably the favorite part of the song, but you're gonna do, I actually play D sharp with the right hand, so D sharp, then G sharp, so you got D sharp and G sharp together. So I go. So again, that is just, I'll show you, you know, better perspective now so you can see easier. So it's, I do this. So that's pretty much what I do after verse 1. After the whole of verse 1, there's a little, you know, section, and that's that section that comes in before verse 2 then, I guess you could say. And then when verse 2 comes in, it just repeatedly repeats, and then more sounds kind of come in throughout the song. It kind of progresses dynamically, this song. But that's how that goes, that little section. So again, it's just G. So basically, I'll just play it real quick so I can put it in perspective. This is how it'll be with the riff. That's when it basically, you know, repeats on furthermore, and that's when verse 2 comes in, pretty much, and then basically you play the same thing, basically. So a lot of this is repetition. There is different sounds that come in, but it's basically basic repetition as far as the riff is concerned, in terms of, you know, the continuity of how it plays. So it's going on verse 2, you can just keep playing the bell, so you just go same thing. And then basically moving on now, we'll skip to the chorus now because you know up until this point you have everything you need. There is some little sounds that come in. Feel free to improvise and do your own thing if you want, but I'm just showing you the pivotal and, you know, parts you need to know to get through the whole song to the end. So having said that, the chorus is basically, on the chorus I just do this. I hear Jerusalem bells and ringing, Roman cavalry quietly singing, be my mirror, my sword and shield, a missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you're gone it was never an honest word. Now here's the change now after never an honest word. Second chord, you go to, the difference is it's more of like a C minor chord, which is D sharp, D sharp, D sharp, G and C with the left hand, and then to the F minor, of course. So pretty much that's like the only change in the chorus. Whenever Chris sings ever an honest word, you always go to this, and I think it happens 3 times, I guess, however many choruses there is in the song. I think there's like 3, but he'll go D sharp, G, and C. And basically, for all the choruses, the riff repeats in the same order, apart from that one chord there, which is instead of this chord, you go to this chord. All it is basically the chord you played before. Or is this chord here? Just, you know, playing the G instead of the G sharp. You're just moving down from the G sharp to the G. That's pretty much the only difference there. And then you go. But basically, that's pretty much the chorus done. So now you can do that. You can add that apply it to every chorus, and it will sound fitting with the song. The next part now is moving on. Now, when it gets that little kind of interlude part where it goes, this part here. That part is pretty much after, you know, Christians, that was when I ruled the world. It goes. So you go D sharp, F, G, and then you put this D sharp and the G sharp together with the right hand, oopsie daisy. Together, this D sharp and G sharp together, and then you go. So then you go. Sorry. So yeah, sorry, I think I had to play it together to kind of get into the sync of it, but again, you're just gonna go, so just focus on the right hand for now, so you're just gonna go, so that's, so I was getting mixed up with the other one, the previous one, in the previous section of the song where it goes. I was getting mixed up with that. It's actually just this, so you go. So basically, you just play this, and then just go G sharp, G, G sharp, G, and back to the thing. So. And then that chord there it goes. If you want, you can play this D sharp octavely to give it some oomph, you know, to give it some power. But if you want, play it the simple way, you just play a D sharp major chord, and you're playing the root chord with both hands. So you got D sharp, G, oops, what is that? D sharp, G, A sharp with the left hand, and D sharp, G, A sharp with the right hand. And then basically after that, you go, it comes into the chant, chanty part, I guess you'd say, like the chant part where it goes. So, yeah, that part basically, in other words. Well, no, most people's favorite part, or it's kind of like the crescendo of the song at least. So that part, again, it plays the same thing. So basically, you got the same thing, but real quick, while I was playing this part, you may be wondering, what does the left hand play? All the left hand plays when you play this part, it just plays the first chord of the riff, which is C sharp, G sharp, and C sharp, to F minor, which is F, F, G sharp, C. So you got, focus on the left hand. And then you just got this chord, D sharp major chord, then. Now if you don't want to play that chanty part on piano, which I'm going to show you now real quick, and then we can wrap this song up. If you just want to stick to the riff playing and play nothing else, then you're just going to go the same thing. Play the bell part if you want, which is just G sharp. So basically, the chant part comes in, the part comes in a few times, and then you just go, then you go straight to the chorus, and the part continues. So that's why, if you want, you can play the part on piano and then play the main riff and sing the chorus if you want. So then you can try and do everything at once. That will be some heavy multitasking, but try it out if you want. See if it can work for you. If not, then you can just do this. The part, by the way, is, you can't see the piano with this. I'll show it down here. It's just this. So it's. So that's pretty much, you know, what the part is. They're the notes that's sung in the chant part. So you can play it on piano if you want. I think it sounds good. And it's actually the way that it starts out live from the 2012 album that Coldplay did. It starts out on the live album like that. So it's kind of, yeah, it's something you can definitely do for sure. But pretty much the end of the song. Now for the last chorus, again, you can just play this with the right hand. Same riff for the left hand, then you go same pattern too. Generation and bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, of missionaries in the foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know Saint Peter will call my name ever an honest word, and that was when I ruled the world. So again, you got when Chris sings "That was when I ruled the world," you play D sharp, G, C. On the right hand, you can play the same thing if you want, D sharp, G, C, which is C minor. That was when I ruled the world. That was when I ruled the world. And then on the last part, you can just go. So yeah, and then that's pretty much it. So that kind of wraps it up. Like, go over the video. There's a lot of things you need to go over, obviously, until you've got the whole thing down. But that's pretty much everything you need to know. You may have seen some extra things that I was adding there on the chorus. All I would have been doing was just, you know, playing this, and then just maybe playing D sharp and A sharp, and then just playing D sharp and C, well, G sharp, G, and C, and then just playing, you know, F minor with the right hand, because that isn't essential. That was just part of my improvisation. I was just showing you what's necessary for the song when you're playing along with it, so it'll sound fitting to it for the most part. So hopefully you can go and practice this now and get it down. It shouldn't take too long. Just focus on the main riff and getting that in sync while singing, and then once you can sing and play the riff in sync with your singing and everything, and in the right tempo and all that, then you can focus on adding in these other parts, and maybe, like, you know, while playing the left hand main riff part, of course. So anyway, this video has been kind of long. We're just surpassed 20 minutes here. I just, you know, wanted to make sure that I showed this in a elaborative way, like most of my tutorials, some more than others, but it's one of my personal favorites, and you will notice that when I do my personal favorites, you know, the ones that I just decide to do because they're like my favorites to play on piano, even though some of them don't have piano in, like this one, ironically, they'll probably be slightly longer than the requested ones, because, well, it depends, but some of them might be longer because I'll be more detailed and descriptive, because that's how I am when I do piano songs that I love more. It's just how I do my favorites. But anyway, we're getting on here, so I'll let you go now. This has been Viva la Vida. If it helped you out, then feel free to support the video by giving it a thumbs up, or any supportive feedback, you know, whether it's leaving a supportive comment, anything that you feel like you want to do to support the video and to show that it helped you, then that would be much appreciated. Truly grateful as always. But apart from that, I'll see you in the next one, whatever that will be. But stay tuned for more if you'd like. So yeah, have fun playing this now, and believe me, once you got everything down, it will pay off, and you should have a lot of fun playing it. So until next time, everyone, stay safe. I'll see you.